After you've finished ironing your pleats in place, that's a good one, pleats in place, you're going to bring your masks over to the sewing machine and you're going to set them up in a pile. Let's see if we can't get this around here. You're going to set them in a pile with the elastic first, making sure that you have the side with your pocket. And in this operation, we're going to sew one right after the other down one side, and then we're going to go back the other way. Bring my bobbin thread up so we don't get a tangle here. Now the purpose of the little fold over that we did will become apparent at the end of this first row. You're going to be putting your elastic in the other end during this operation. You want to make sure that you get the elastic straight. Make sure you don't have a twist in it. So you're going to start out on your first piece, and my suggestion is that you do, got to figure out how to do this without blocking the camera. I am not a video tech. Back stitch through your elastic, nice. And now because you've ironed your pleats, you can just push them together and line them up and stitch through them. And when you get almost to the end, now bring your elastic around. And you'll see, this is where you see the purpose of why we folded that little edge over before. Now it's finished off. And when you put your elastic in the space, so you're going to lay the elastic in there, and you can fold that pocket over it. And now it's all encased and finished off, and you're not fighting with the elastic or pins or any of those other ways that people show doing it. Now we're doing railroading, so we're going to go right to the next one and do the same thing. Get the elastic, line up the pleats. Don't forget to get your elastic for the other end, and even put it in place so you don't space out, because I do that sometimes. I'll space out that I'm supposed to sew that in there, and then I have to tear it out. And then hold your pleats, try to make sure you got them nice and straight. And you can go close to the edge, because we're going to top stitch this around to finish it. Okay. And then back and forth through the elastic. And of course, if you're, I only got 2 for the sample, but if you have more, then you just keep going on that side. And then when you get to the end, on this side, you're going to be putting the elastic in first. So you get your elastic and put it in there, in the slot. Holding it down with the needle. And get it started. Back and forth. I keep putting my finger in front of the camera. Back and forth. I don't have one of those fancy cameras. Now on this side, the pleats are going to be facing the opposite way. And this is where a little screwdriver or a little scissor, seam ripper, anything like that, just to kind of hold those pleats down. Keep them lined up nice. And back stitch through your elastic. And then we'll bring the next one up and put the elastic in the pocket. Just eyeball it right in there. Once again, because we finished off the end of that little pocket on our first step, it's easy to try and do this without putting my hand in the way. Hold that down. Zigzag back and forth. Well, stitch back and forth. Pleats in place. And you would just keep going down that side till you get to the end of your 4 or 8 or 12 or however many you're working. The other nice thing about doing it this way, railroaded, is you have a very little bit of thread wasted between your masks. As you can see on this one here, on this end, it's so close that just snipping between them is trimming it. So that's how you do the first step of sewing the pleats.